Welcome to the Courtroom Chronicles. This channel is dedicated to educational content based on real-life cases and true events. This content shared here is drawn directly from the actual case file, and no names, places, or items have been changed. However, the content has been carefully summarized and presented for educational purposes in a comprehension format to inform, enlighten, and spark meaningful discussions. Whether you're here to learn, reflect, or simply understand the real-world scenarios better, you're in the right place. We believe in the power of truthful storytelling to educate and inspire. Disclaimer: while all stories are based on real cases, they are presented in a condensed and structured format for clarity and learning. Viewer discretion is advised where necessary. This case is cited from the Nigerian High Court online file, which is public record. This is a case between Reliable Integrated Services Ltd v. Otunba Taiwo Ayodele and Anor. In Reliable Integrated Services Ltd v. Otunba Taiwo Ayodele and Anor, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, presided over by Honorable Justice Asmau Akanbi Yusuf, delivered judgment on February 26, 2021, in a case involving a money-lending dispute. The claimant, a licensed moneylender, granted a short-term loan of $18,000 to the first defendant in August 2017. The loan was supported by a letter of offer, Exhibit F, and guaranteed by the second defendant, Exhibit E. The terms stipulated a 9% monthly interest with an additional 3% default penalty. Two vehicles were deposited as collateral, a Mercedes-Benz and a Honda Accord. Upon default, the claimant auctioned one of the vehicles, Mercedes-Benz, and claimed that the other Honda Accord remained unsold due to low bids. Subsequently, the claimant filed a suit claiming an outstanding debt of $57,061,485.56 plus interest. The defendants did not call witnesses but filed a statement of defense and relied entirely on the claimant's case, including cross-examination of the claimant's sole witness. They raised the statute of limitation as a defense under Section 32 of the Moneylenders Act, arguing the suit was filed out of time. Justice Akambi Yusuf resolved two central issues: whether the suit was statute barred. The court held that limitation was not properly pleaded in the defense and could not be validly raised for the first time in a final address. Consequently, this issue was resolved in favor of the claimant. Whether the claimant proved its case on the balance of probabilities, the court found that the agreement, Exhibit F, clearly allowed the claimant to sell the collateral after 30 days of default to recover the debt, including interest and penalties. The court emphasized that once terms are agreed in writing, parties are bound by them. Exhibits F1 and F2, demand letters, were considered superfluous and had no legal weight in altering the contract. As the agreed method of recovery, sale of vehicles, was executed, the court found that the claimant had no further enforceable claim beyond the collateral value. Ultimately, the court held that the claimant failed to prove its case and dismissed the suit in its entirety. Who won and why? The defendants won the case. The court dismissed the claimant's suit on the ground that the claimant failed to prove that additional liabilities existed beyond the loan recovery terms agreed in Exhibit F. Although the defendants rested their case on the claimant's evidence, they successfully demonstrated, through cross-examination and pleadings, that the vehicles provided were the sole agreed security and that the claimant had exercised the remedy by auctioning one and holding the second. The court emphasized that the contract terms were unambiguous. There was no variation or further contractual obligation established. The claimant's claim for additional payments lacked legal foundation under the contract. How this could have been avoided: legal analysis and recommendations. Comprehensive and clear loan agreements. The loan agreement, Exhibit F, should have explicitly included what happens if the collateral value is insufficient. There was no clause allowing the lender to pursue further legal recovery after collateral sale. A well-drafted clause on residual debt would have protected the lender. Documentation of collateral valuation. If the lender believed the collateral would not fully cover the loan plus penalties, it should have documented an independent valuation and clarified the shortfall liability in writing with the borrower. Proper auction procedures. The claimant auctioned one vehicle without court oversight and failed to call the auctioneer as a witness. A more formal process, e.g., applying for judicial sale, could have improved credibility and provided a record for claiming any remaining debt. Pleading all defenses timely. The defendant's limitation defense failed because it wasn't raised in their pleadings. Defendants must always raise jurisdictional defenses like limitation in their statement of defense to be considered valid. Avoid over-reliance on oral cross-examination. The claimant should not have relied only on oral testimony to establish continuing debt without written acknowledgement from the defendants or a new contractual document showing post-default liability. Better litigation strategy. The claimant might have issued a formal demand for repayment beyond collateral sale, negotiated a fresh repayment plan, or documented acknowledgement of debt reset the limitation period. Thanks so much for watching, fam. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below, and let me know what you think about the case. I love hearing your thoughts and feedback. And hey, if you felt a connection or learned something new, give this video a like and share it with someone who might enjoy it too. Until next time, stay safe, stay real, and I'll catch you in the next one.